Hey, I recently got an email from Mike who sent me his review of the Operation Pugilist event that took place, and I wanted to share some of that with you guys. There'll be linked to his write-ups of his games there in the description here. But I wanted to show you just like a few pictures from the event itself, and also a little bit of the results, which were kind of interesting. So let's go and see. So this is the event recap that Mike wrote up, and it's really, really good. There are a lot of interesting stuff here about the games itself that he played. This is the wonderful table. Look at this. This is a really clever little idea that I actually have on my game table back at my in my game room. Um, that you have an edge on your board so that dice or miniatures don't roll off. Really nice little thing here. Lots of ruins on this first table, and in Mike's write-up, he also notes down that it was really difficult moving up in this table. There was a lot of hardcover, a lot of difficulty in pushing this table, and I can totally see that. His second table, though, that was I wanted to show you that as well. It was right next to it, and I'm gonna go down. He writes very nice battle reps, turn by turn. Unfortunately, he didn't finish all his turns, but all his games, which sucks. But this was the second table. Look at that. That is very, very open. Hardcover, though. But these patches of rough ground here. Oof. If I was TOing this, I would have put down a few trees on some of them, making them forests so that you had a little bit of line of sight blocking, because this is a very open table. Lots of terrain that you can hide behind, but it is very open. So that was the write-up. I'll also link here. Here's his analysis, right? So Mike himself, he had brought an Italian army, which I'll go and have a look at in a minute. But and he finished sixth here. One win, two draws, and this was actually his first tournament, which that's an amazingly good result. Good on you, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. He does write that he would definitely attend again. I would highly recommend everyone to just try and go. You might think that competitive bold action is not a thing for you. Try it out at least once. Most of the tournaments I've been at, even the very competitive ones, are extremely friendly. We are just all nerds who like playing with toy soldiers, basically. Um, so, and it's amazing to meet up with other people of the same type. Some people struggle with finishing the games on time because many people, once you're used to playing in your basement or whatever in your club, you're not time constrained like you are at a tournament. And that's part of the game. Right, so what can we learn here? Well, when you look at the distribution here at the top, we've got 5 different nations. And we've got the Hungarians here winning. That was a veteran player, which is, well, that should happen most of the time, right? I often say that it's the player, not the list. But we also got a German here, and the Italians are right behind. We do have a French, a Polish, and a British army, but no Soviets there. Look, we've got a Soviet all the way back down here. So, so the distribution of armies is way off of what we would expect to see at a very competitive event. So my guess is that this was a more casual event, which I also read out from the pack, where they would be matched up, Axis versus Allies in the first round, and then second round and third round they would be Swiss drawn. So there is a little bit of casual theatre, historical going on. At the same time, we see another thing which I've noted before, that we've seen, I think in America, we see lower dice counts than we do in Europe. Look at these dice counts. They vary from between 8, which that German player actually did quite well, and he was a new player, an inexperienced player, till around 15 was the highest dice count for the French player here. So that for me is very, very low in European standards. It's like 2 or 3 dice too low. The average dice count was just below 12 order dice per army per 1,000 points. So very low. And then they had margin of victory here, and I'm not sure what that is, but you could actually get a negative result. So it could be kill dice where you count. I mean, if you kill more order dice than, so like the Italian player here, might have killed 4 order dice more than he had lost, so that would be a 4+. Whereas the US player here had lost 3 more dice than he had killed, so that would be a -3. I think that's how you read that. The only player who didn't really do well was this Japanese player, and that sucks. I mean, going to an event and then losing all your games. Ah, yeah, well, that happens. Yeah. Distribution of nations here was British and Germans were the most popular nations. I would expect to see more US, but we did have 2 US armies, 2 Japanese armies. None of them did well. Not really a surprise to me. I think Japanese armies need to have way higher dice counts in order to do well. Um, just the way I see it. Um, and one each of the rest here. You could even see the US Marine Corps would count as a US, so that would be 3 armies for the US. Mike even wrote up an analysis in like the style of what I've been doing. I really love this. It was a really good read, Mike. Thank you. And he even did a shout out to me. Thank you. So let's just finally go and see just for a sec here. I'll get back to you. I wanted to show you his list. And here we go. If it could just read, please. Yeah, there we go. So it's a 13 order dice Italian list. This was very brave, bringing an Italian list, but I guess when you're going to a first tournament, you want to bring something you're comfortable with. You want to bring something that's nicely painted, something where you know the units. So a lot of other criteria may have affected what he actually brought to the tournament. For American meta, this 13 order dice is pretty good. He had brought a second lieutenant with 2 extra men. That means that he's very survivable, even if there's preparatory bombardment, and it becomes a small unit, regulars, submachine guns, and stuff. 2 Paraticis, these are really good as well, and they can take the Panzerfaust. Mike wrote that he didn't really use the Panzerfaust, and I guess that could be a thing, a problem. I think often you have to view Panzerfaust as being more of a threat, an area denial thing where enemy armor doesn't really want to come close to the Panzerfaust, than a real tank hunter. And with 1 Panzerfaust, that's not really a tank hunter. You need 2 to be absolutely certain, right? The first of these units at 135 points, that's a large unit of veterans. That's really a push unit. The second unit is more of a skirmish unit. And then he had 3 skirmish regular infantry units here. Really good. 7-man units. Perfect. Medium mortar team with a spotter. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Veteran sniper. That makes him more survivable, right? The Solothurn 20mm anti-tank rifle. Lots of Italian players take this. I'm not particularly a fan, but you don't have a lot of anti-tank in Italian lists, so many people take it just because they can. The light howitzer, yes, that is not a given, but it is really good also in Italian lists. The Auto Blinder 41, also a very, very good armored car choice. Has the recce, has the dual direction steering, light autocannon, and 2 MGs. Very, very good. And an M15, a darker tank. Yeah, so lots of good choices here. And an inexperienced truck. I don't think with what you have here in this list that the truck was actually needed. Um, as I view what you've written, didn't read every single turn, but I read the gist of it. The truck wasn't really used that much either, so I think I would have picked something else for that, maybe a flamer team or something. But there you go. Really nice list, very nice write up. Mike, thank you so much for giving me this and for directing my attention to it. And to everyone who attended, I hope you had fun. I hope you really enjoyed it. It seems like a good little event. Very, very cool. Thank you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.